Alright, YouTube, we have level up rewards as well as skills leaked for Blue Angel when she is unlocked in 2 days from now. I was hoping we'd see a few more level up rewards by now, but apparently we only have 3. But I have gone through them before and they're pretty good. So if these are the only new cards we're getting in the level ups, that's fine. I would like some more though. Konami, please. Light Stage at 1 would help the deck out immensely, please. But yeah, let's go in. Crimson Heart is a link to... I mentioned in my box video that one of those links that I read was the best link. I think this might be the best link for Trickstars. It's a link to 2 Trickstar monsters. Each time a Trickstar monster is normal or special summoned to zone this card points to, you gain 200 life points. You can discard 1 Trickstar card. Both players draw 1 card. Again, not great letting your opponent draw, but if your life points was at least 2,000 higher than your opponent's when this was activated, you draw 2 cards instead. So you gain a little bit more advantage. And normally, maybe not turn 1, but normally you would be at 2,000 higher life points than your opponent because you're burning them, and you can also heal yourself with this card. So pretty good. Also, being able to draw 2 is just amazing, always. Alright, Trickstar Korribane. This is a level 5, but you can special summon it if you control no monsters or all your monsters are Trickstars. It also is a hand trap during the damage step when your Trickstar monster battles an opponent's monster. Quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the grave. That monster you control gains attack equal to its original attack until the end of this turn. So like a little honest effect in Archetype. That's very nice. You can only use each effect once per turn. Alright, and then Nightshade. If this card is sent to the grave as a link material for the link summon of a Trickstar monster, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. So some nice recursion. Allows you to link climb a bit easier with this card. Very nice. I would think we get 3 of this. 3 of this and 2 of this, maybe? I don't know the exact how many we're gonna get. Maybe even 3 of each, I don't know. Onto the skills. Blue Angel skills. Trickstar Together, I imagine this is gonna be her starting skill. Like just the basic one that we all get when we unlock the character. At the beginning of the duel, add 1 Trickstar, Candina and Lilybell to your deck, then add 1 Holly Angel to your extra deck. So it does clog your deck up 2 more cards, which is not great. But there's another effect. The following effect can be used once per turn. Select 1 non-link Trickstar monster you control and move that to another monster zone you control. This is useful because a lot of the Trickstar link monsters have effects that activate when cards are in their zones that they point to. So that's useful in getting those effects off. Not a bad starting skill. Next up is Holly Angel Trick. The effect damage of your monsters whose original name is Trickstar Holly Angel will be doubled. So that's going back to the original TCG burn damage at 200, but only for Holly Angel with this effect. It might be useful. We're not sure exactly how much we're going to be burning in Duel Links, especially since we don't know all the cards we're getting. Hopefully this might make them burn for more and enough to finish off some games. Also, Holly Angel burns each time a card is special summoned to a zone this card points to, not once per turn. So she could burn for quite a bit. Next up, Trickstar Trick. This is a funny skill. This is probably not going to be played, but it's going to be annoying when it is. Can be used if your opponent controls a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, so most of the time that's going to be active. Send 1 Trickstar monster from your grave, to the grave, sorry, from your hand. The normal draw for the next opponent's turn after using the skill becomes 3 cards, and at the end of that turn, banish random cards in your opponent's hand equal to the number of Trickstar cards in your grave. So it does give your opponent +3. And they hoped it would be balanced out by making them banish the rest of the cards, but realistically they're probably just gonna set all their cards unless they draw a bunch of monsters which get banished, which could be the only useful scenario for this, I would imagine. So that's a bit of a funny skill, probably not gonna be too impactful. Next up, Trickstar Gig can be used if your life points are at 2000 or below. Don't know how often that's going to happen in Trickstars. Send cards from the top of your deck to the grave up to the number of Trickstar monsters you control. So you do have to control Trickstars to mill, so it's not generic mill skill. Then you can add one Trickstar card from the grave to your hand. So pretty good. That's a nice skill. Just a little weird that it has to be at 2000 or below. Don't know about that. It might be too strong if it was just at any point. So I guess that's fair. Marincess Transcend, our first Marincess skill. I think we've only seen one Marincess card, if I'm not mistaken. One link. So we'd have to get a few Marincess cards from Level Up, which are not shown here. Anyway, send one Marincess effect monster you control to the grave, and add one Marincess monster from your hand to your hand from your deck. That is one level higher than the original level of the monster sent to the grave. During this turn, you cannot normal summon or special summon except Marincess. Skills used. You can only use a skill if you begin the duel with a extra deck that contains no monsters other than water cyberse monsters. This skill can only be used once per duel. So it just sounds like a generic consistency skill, sort of like the Black Rose skill. It's useful because Marincess cards do have some effects that work in the grave, and just adding one to hand is nice. Pretty good skill. Then Heart Creation. Change all link 2 or above Marincess link monsters you control in the EMZ to Crystal Heart. The monster change with the skill cannot be used as link material, and the skill's only once per duel. Crystal Heart is pretty good. It's a towers. It's unaffected by monster effects while it's in the EMZ. I guess not exactly a towers, just monster effects, not all effects. During the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, that opponent's monster is unaffected by card effects except its own. So it can't be boosted by anything else, which is nice. When this card or your Marincess link monster this card points to is targeted for an attack, you can send one Marincess monster from your hand to the grave. For that battle, your monster cannot be destroyed and you take no damage. So Crystal Heart's pretty good. Probably not going to get it for a long time in the actual game if we're getting it via skill. So that's something. And lastly, everything's ready can be used before your normal draw after your life points decrease by 1500. One of the cards from your normal draw this turn will be a Trickstar or Marincess monster of your choice from the deck. So that's just a generic D-draw-ish skill, sort of like the Senju one. But it triggers at 1500 and it's for the archetypes of the character. Glossing over the rest of the league's beginner deal, I'm not sure what this is. I don't know how they will track if you're a beginner or not. I guess if you're on a new account maybe. I would like to see this available for everybody though, so Konami, get on that please. Not just for new players. Your existing players are the ones who are more likely to spend money. Unless this is for free, then in which case still just give it to everybody. Mats look okay. A lot of Duel Links logos, and I'm not a fan of that font, Blue Angel font. Icons are cool, and that's about it. For the leaks, last refresh, any more level ups? No. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you in the next video.